Have you ever bared your soul to someone, sharing intimate details of your life, only to feel betrayed when that same information was later exploited or manipulated against you? And have you ever experienced a profound vulnerability after confiding your fears, desires, or weaknesses, only to discover that those vulnerabilities were weaponized to harm or control you? It's a common experience for many of us to overshare at times, perhaps out of loneliness, the need to vent, or simply because we placed too much trust in people we believed were friends. Yet wise individuals understand the importance of guarding certain aspects of themselves, recognizing that some topics have the potential to hinder personal growth, strain relationships, or even jeopardize one's well-being. Through the Zen story you're about to encounter, you'll uncover the subject's best-kept private, ensuring your inner peace remains undisturbed. But before delving further, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and enabling notifications to stay informed about future uploads. And if you find value in this video, sharing it would be greatly appreciated. It enables us to create more content like this for you. In the secluded Buddhist monastery nestled amidst the serene mountains of Japan, there resided an elderly sage named Kosami, revered for his profound wisdom and deep insights into life's mysteries. One tranquil evening, as the disciples gathered around the flickering flames of the fire, they were seized by a curious inquiry. Why did their esteemed teacher often emphasize the importance of keeping certain matters unspoken? With a gentle smile gracing his weathered features, Kosami responded with serene clarity. Consider, dear ones, the secrets of the soul as delicate blossoms in the garden of our hearts. Let us nurture them tenderly, safeguarding their beauty from being trampled by the heedless words of others. The concerns that weigh upon us and the shadows of our fears are akin to brittle leaves carried away by the capricious winds of uncertainty. Should we divulge them too readily, we risk witnessing their dissipation under the weight of external judgment, robbing us of the chance to find solace within. At this, a curious disciple interjected, "Master, might you elaborate on these guarded matters? Could you illuminate us further?" "Children," Kosami commenced in his serene tone, "life mirrors a winding river coursing through rocky terrain, concealing both tranquil eddies and enigmatic depths, teeming with treasures and mysteries. Some of these marvels, alongside the darker recesses of our souls, are best preserved in the sanctity of silence, lest they be misconstrued or wielded against us. Foremost among these is fear," Kosami continued solemnly. "A nebulous veil shrouding the clarity of our minds, fear, if spoken of too freely, may burgeon into an impenetrable fog, obscuring our path to inner peace. Fear," he expounded, "casts a looming shadow over our every step, a specter poised to engulf us should we allow it to swell unchecked. An encroaching darkness akin to the desolation of nightfall, haunting us in moments of solitude and uncertainty. Picture this," he addressed his attentive disciples. "You find yourself traversing a moonlit forest, your only companion a feeble lantern casting flickering shadows. Each rustle of leaves sends shivers down your spine, every hushed whisper of the night stirring a primal fear within you. In such moments, fear can seize hold of you, unless you confront it with steadfast courage. When we recklessly divulge our fears," Kosami continued thoughtfully, "we inadvertently nourish them, stoking their flames until they blaze uncontrollably, akin to a wildfire raging unchecked. Speaking of fear inflates its magnitude, transforming it into a monstrous specter that holds sway over our thoughts, holding us captive within our own minds. Fear," he emphasized gravely, "is an inevitable facet of existence, yet we must strive to manage it with sagacity and resolve. Holding our fears close in the sanctum of silence empowers us to confront them with equanimity and purpose, rather than succumbing to their devouring grip. Moreover, Sharing our fears renders us vulnerable to exploitation by others who may exploit our vulnerabilities for their own ends. Sexuality, Kosami continued, his tone measured, resembles a hidden garden replete with delicate blooms and alluring fragrances, an intimate facet of our humanity deserving of reverence and discretion. In vision, he turned to address a disciple directly, a clandestine garden concealed behind towering stone walls. Within its confines, blossoms unfurl in serene silence, their beauty undisturbed by prying eyes. Such is the sanctity that should enshroud our sexuality, a treasure safeguarded zealously, shielded from the scrutiny and censure of others. Reflect upon this. Kosami imparted, his voice carrying the weight of solemnity. Your sexuality is akin to a delicate blossom unfurling within the sanctum of intimacy. Exposing it too freely invites shame, external criticism, and the peril of potential exploitation. To speak openly of our sexuality risks tarnishing its purity, sullying its essence with superficiality and vulgarity. Such casual discourse threatens to erode the sanctity of our intimacy, robbing it of its intrinsic beauty and reverence. Our sexuality, he continued earnestly, is a sacred facet of our humanity, deserving of utmost respect and reverence. Safeguarding it within the confines of our hearts preserves its sanctity, nurturing it with tender love and devotion. Desires and thoughts of vengeance, Kosami proceeded, his tone grave, are likewise to be held in sacred silence. They bind us to the shackles of the past, hindering our journey toward inner peace and tranquility. Like smoldering embers, they sear our hearts with bitterness and resentment, poisoning our very souls. Furthermore, their revelation to others furnishes them with weapons to wield against us. Consider this scenario, he continued, the sting of betrayal inflicted by a beloved akin to a venomous arrow piercing the heart, leaving behind a festering wound. In the throes of such anguish, the desire for retribution may consume us entirely, clouding every thought and emotion. Yet, in confiding such sentiments to another, we inadvertently expose ourselves to potential manipulation and coercion. As we nurture thoughts of vengeance, Kosami pressed on, we inadvertently bind ourselves tighter to the one who wronged us, relinquishing further control to their influence. Speaking of such desires only fans the flames of our anger, transforming it into an insatiable inferno that consumes all in its wake. Let us remember, revenge begets naught but further anguish, he asserted resolutely. It is a path fraught with pain and suffering. By harboring thoughts of vengeance in the depths of our hearts, we release the tether of the past and embrace the present with tranquility and compassion. As the disciples hung onto his every word, Kosami transitioned to yet another topic deemed unsuitable for discussion: past traumas. The scars of our traumatic past, the monk elucidated, resemble deep wounds etched upon the fabric of our souls. They are tempests that assail us, hurling us against the jagged rocks of existence, a visceral imprint that lingers, shrouded in the recesses of our beings. Consider, he urged, a harrowing accident etching indelible scars upon your being, a haunting specter that materializes whenever you close your eyes, the icy grip of terror still constricting your soul. To speak openly of such traumas risks reopening those wounds, perpetuating a cycle of bleeding without respite. Such discourse amplifies our suffering, hindering the quest for inner peace. Traumatic encounters, Kosami imparted with sagacity, serve as profound tutors imparting invaluable lessons, yet oftentimes, these lessons find their true resonance in the silence of introspection. Within the quietude of our hearts, we glean insights and forge resilience, emerging from the crucible of adversity stronger and more enlightened. Turning now to matters of financial foresight, Kosami continued, likening them to seeds sown within the fertile grounds of abundance, yielding fruits of security and prosperity over time. Much like saplings weathering storms, our financial plans necessitate prudent guardianship and discretion. Visualize, he prompted, a treasure concealed beneath the earth's surface, ensconced by sturdy roots and steadfast walls. It offers solace and assurance, yet demands vigilant stewardship to flourish. Reckless divulgence of our financial strategies, Kosami cautioned, invites the covetous gaze of others, leaving our treasure vulnerable to exploitation and unsettling our peace of mind. These plans, he elucidated, require nurturing akin to tender saplings, shielded from life's tempests and nurtured with care. Likewise, Kosami transitioned, future aspirations are to be kept veiled in secrecy. They are akin to ethereal dreams propelling us beyond the confines of our present reality, igniting the flames of hope and fortitude. Envision, he urged, a map charting the course to your loftiest aspirations, a tapestry of promise interwoven with challenges and triumphs yet to be. When our lips loosen too readily regarding our future ambitions, he pressed on, we open ourselves to the covetous glances and pessimism of others. Such disclosure renders our aspirations susceptible to scrutiny, robbing us of the resolve and fortitude requisite for their fruition. Under the shroud of nightfall, the monastery embraced a profound stillness, underscoring the disciples' comprehension. Silence and discernment stand as formidable sentinels on the journey toward inner tranquility and self-realization.